right, greetings tribes people. Greetings from Baker's Green Acres. This is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. And all right, I got something to pass on. I think this is especially good for tribe people, homesteaders types. Because when all of a sudden you find yourself in deep waters, you kind of go like, oh no. But deep waters can be beneficial. Okay, so that'll be the title of this, is Deep Waters Can Be Beneficial. So last night we'd come home from a soccer game and we're sitting around doing having a campfire and just chatting and stuff, and it was all of us out. And then it's time to go to bed, so Mom goes in with the little kids, and I had a calf that was out, so I went to find her and to put her in, and my youngest son comes out and says, Mom says there's no water. So we're in a rural area, of course, and we have a well, and I have several wells here, but you have problems from time to time, and it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm filthy dirty. I'd kind of like to take a shower before I get in bed. So I come out here, and I'll show you my area here. This is out pretty far from the house, and that's the well. You can see the casing, and the pump is way down in there. And then this wiring here is for the pressure switch. This box is from, that brings utility power from the house, which is pretty far away. And then there's a pressure tank that's buried there. And I mean, it doesn't look real great or anything, but that's how they do them. And this was put in by a well driller. And he did a pretty good job, I guess, because it worked real well for a long time. Well, anyway, I come out here to see what's wrong with it, and I hit the breaker, and the breaker pops. It's like, oh no. So I got a meter out, and I went through, and I tried to find a problem. I couldn't find anything. It's late. And the way I was thinking at the time was, I got to have water tomorrow, so I'm just going to go start digging this up because I got to find out what's wrong with it. And I went up to the house. I was going to get some stuff, and Jill said, no, let's just do it tomorrow. And from experience, I know that late at night, tired, you don't think right. Plus it's dark out, and you can't see. So so cleaned up, went to bed, got up this morning. From what I assessed last night, the pump was shot. And to change the pump, you gotta have the know-how how to do it. And I didn't. I've never pulled one of those pumps out before. I've done plenty of others, so I just said, I'm doing something else today. I'm just going to call somebody and let them do it. They can tell me if the pump is the right one, and it'd be done professionally. So I called a guy. Nope, busy. Called another guy. Nope, busy. I called another guy. Well, we'll let you know this afternoon what our schedule is. That's not too good. I'm out of water. So I said, well, I don't have a choice. I got to practice what I preach. I preach that your homestead you should know how everything works on your homestead. You should know how everything works. You should be able to service this. I would reckon a call like this to replace a pump, which I might or might not need, would be a very expensive call. Only because I didn't want to do it, or I didn't know how to do it. Of course I know how to do it. I just didn't want to do it. I'm doing something else. So I didn't have a choice. I came out and I started digging, and as I'm digging, I'm thinking, this is simple. Why wouldn't you just suck it up, fix the thing yourself, save a lot of money in somebody else's time, and then you'll know how to do it. It will never evade you again. Even if I'm 85 years old, I could direct a grandson, okay, do this, and do this, and do this. So I needed to do it myself. Well, I came out, and I started digging. Last time I dug this up was to put the pressure tank in, which was this summer. And that was a bummer, because the pressure tank was only 10 years old. They had to put a new one in, so this is a brand new one. But when I rewired this switch here, there's clamps that go in these holes, and they weren't on it when the professional did it, so I figured, well, I don't need to do it either. And I put them in, and then if you remember, well, probably on my other channel, I told you that the cows came out here and got in a fight with this electrical box, and then apparently one of them stepped down in this hole and stepped on the wire, and it dug in. I'll show you here. It dug in to the side of this right here. See that burn mark? And it was this red wire here, which is one of the legs of the hot wire. This is 220. So it dug in right there, and when I looked at it last night, I didn't see it, and I jumped to the conclusion that the well's shot, or the pump is shot, you know. And so I watched a YouTube video this morning about how to change these, and it's actually not very hard. There's a tool that you need to reach down in there, and you pull this thing called a shoe out, and then you pull the wire and the piece of PVC pipe out, and it all comes out, and you lay it out, you change the pump, and you drop it back in. So that's what I was planning to have to do, but I came out here, and it's like I see this burn mark on here. I cut that piece of wire off. Where's the red one? I don't see it. I cut it off, and I'm quite sure that when I hook it back up, we're going to have water. All right, but just a sec. But the point is, if you know how things work on your place, then you're ahead of the game. And when something breaks, right, instead of looking at it like, what a pain, you need to look at it like, oh, here's a chance for me to learn something new, you know? That's what you need to that's how you need to be looking at it. So this summer, we were sitting out having breakfast, and I got a little whiff of something. And when I went and investigated a little bit, the septic system, the grass was all kind of mushy over there. So that took me on another adventure into septic systems, and now I know everything there is to know about septic systems, and I fixed it myself. A lot of times what happens is guys will come out and they'll say, oh gee, we need to dig this all up, and you need a new tank here, and you need to buy us lunch, you know, and you wind up paying for a lot of stuff that I don't think, if you really know how it works, all we really need is for the gray water to sink into the ground. And so long as you have sandy soil, that's going to work just fine. So I got mine back online. All it was it had filled up with sand, and I just had to flush the sand out of the tubes that are down in there. And once that I flushed it out, it worked outstanding. And so I don't have a problem with it. And then I thought, well, I should get the tank pumped out. And I checked into it, and it's a couple $100 for somebody to come with a big truck, and they got to roll it up on my lawn and then suck it out, and I got to give them $200. I thought, wow, if I had a long pole and kind of a ladle on the end of it, I could ladle that stuff out myself and spread it on my fields or add it to my compost pile, and I would be $200 ahead, and I think it would take me about 2 hours. So I'm worth $100 an hour. Or I could just drop one of the kids down in there, and they could load it up. So, you know, I just thought I was going to be sharing with you a bad story, like, oh, I just did this, now I got to dig it up again, and it's raining out, and it's part of homesteading. But as I got into it, I realized, hey, I can fix this. And so I'm sharing a victory with you instead of homesteading's can be a drag sometimes. No, this is great. I feel great now. I don't have to replace this pump, and my wife's going to be happy when all of a sudden the water comes on in the house. And I tell you what else. I went over to one of the other wells that we have a hand pump on, and I thought, well, I'll get some water. And I found out that it was not working. It has leather parts inside of it, and they had work hardened and rotted. And you know, it worked earlier in the summer, but today when I needed it, it didn't work. And it's really not designed for outside use. So I made the decision last night as I was drifting off to sleep that I'm going to get the correct well, hand pump well for, you know, an outside 2-inch well. I'm going to do that. And I thought, yeah, but I'm going to have to wait on that one because I got to spend about $500 on a new pump for this one. But I just saved $500, so I can spend it right away on that new one. So that's going to be probably one of my projects here that I'll take you through. I would like everybody to have a great day and share in my victory here. Anyone can find.